there's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com with another match with Soul Sisters. We're on the play this time. Yes, we'd like to go first. This is an amazing hand again. This is just a crippling hand for either Delver or the Burn to actually deal with. Now, I'm still a fan of running out Sarah Ascendant first turn, especially against unknown decks. As if he has any sort of combo deck, if I go first turn Sarah Ascendant and he doesn't deal with it, second turn drop a Martyr, sack it. It can outrace decks like Scapeshift or even Boggles. So if I know I'm going up against Delver, maybe I just play Plains and pass the turn and then wait for a Martyr on turn number 2 to guarantee the 6/6. But with this, again, we don't know what we're up against. I want to apply as much pressure as possible. And if this gets bolted, and it still eats a bolt, a first turn bolt makes them react on first turn, and then we can slam an Arctic Champion. So there's really no bad scenario if we are going against Delver here. So I'm going to do it. First turn Sarah Ascendant. And let's see if he's got, it is going to be a Scalding Tarn. So we're going to drop it and see if he can react to this. So, oh geez, I'm one off. So that's we needed to draw a land there, so we missed the land, so I'd only gain 1 life. So we'll attack in with the Sarah Ascendant. And this will allow it to go to 21. And yeah, now he can't actually, he has to sack the Scalding Tarn. In response, I can make him bigger. So once he sacks this, that's when I will, yep. Now we have a 6/6. So a little bit of if this wouldn't have been a Plains, of course, we would have had a bigger creature. But on turn 3, attacking for 6 isn't bad. Now he's in a really, I mean, he needs a Vapor Snag here, the Sarah Ascendant. But again, I don't even know what I'm going up against. Scalding Tarn is the most played fetch land in the format. There are a gazillion decks that actually run it. Burn runs it. The Treasure Burn runs it. Of course, Delver runs it. UWR runs it. There you go, like a Howled Fountain sort of UI Control will run it. And here he does need to deal with it. A 6/6 on, of course, turn 3 is going to be very, very detrimental. And it's going to be another Scalding Tarn. It's got to be some sort of Treasure Burn type deck. Or a Delver. So here I'm going to attack in with the Sarah Ascendant. If this even gets 1 hit, it's going to be very hard for him to deal with. He's down to 15 just from shocking. Fetching and shocking. That's why Burn is so popular in a format right now, where your opponent starts with 1/4 of their life. He's going to Lightning Helix me. Yep, that actually does take me down. But it's still not the greatest interaction with him. Because now I can just slam a Windburst Kites. The only relevant, but this gets rid of lands. That was a nice little Windburst to take those lands at the bottom. And then we'll go ahead and champion here. I'm really thinking that we're going against UWR Control. There is going to be like Supreme Verdicts. They're going to be hard to deal with, but we have a great hand versus any sort of control list with the Ranger to fill back up our hand, and we are in position to always be threatening at 30 life with the Sarah Ascendant. I would not be surprised one bit if he just electrolyzes off the Sarah Ascendant. Or Forked Bolt. Yep, it will be another Lightning Helix off on the Ascendant. So here we're going to be able to Ranger Vios to fill back up our hand, or I could even Spectral Procession. But it's just going to be Ranger. Go get a few more of them. which is really going to put him on pressure, especially with the Martyr in hand. So Serra Ascendant and Serra Ascendant. We'll attack in with the Arctic Champion, putting him back down to a 17. With 2 Lightning Helixes out of the way, he probably does play Snapcaster Mages, and he's getting to the point where he can play a Cryptic Command, which is annoying. And that's exactly what he's holding up, is a Cryptic right here. So I'm just going to go ahead, attacking with both of these. And I might actually not want to attack with Arctic Champion because he can Snapcaster something in. So it's just going to be the Ranger that we're going to attack in. I don't want to get Snapcaster Lightning Helixed. It is absolutely a Cryptic Command that's in his hand, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop a Serra Ascendant, which he's going to counter and draw. So he actually lets it go. He's going to Snapcaster Lightning Helix, which will allow him to target the Lightning Helix first. So I called that the Snapcaster, so I'm glad it's not the Arctic Champion. And then he's able to kill off this Serra Ascendant, go back up to a 15. But it's still going to allow me now to cast the other one. And we'll Martyr as well. So he needs to hit his Supreme Verdict here. Otherwise, he is in very, very, very bad shape. And a Spectral Procession will at least let me get back in. And I'm at 33. This deck typically wants to burn. They use Celestial Colonnade as their win con. That's a great one. I think that if we can stick an Honor the Pure, I could definitely see a Cryptic Command tap and draw, or even tap and counter, but nothing comes down here. We'll just go ahead and attack in with everything. He's going to Path to Exile. Yes, we'll use that ability. And I think we will discard Arctic Champion here if he wants. We need to get rid of the blockers. And I want this Attendant out. So he'll block the Champion. And we'll go ahead and throw this guy in to get another life. At this point, Arctic Champion's not. I mean, that's a fine trade with Snapcaster. So getting him down to a 9. He is so. I mean, he's used 2 Helixes and a Snapcaster Helix. So he's down to 2 cards. Treasure Cruise he can actually use next turn. He can actually activate his Colonnade if he. So okay, he just has the other Delve card, the Dig Through Time, which gets rid of another Lightning Helix and a Path to Exile he won't be able to use. So he's looking for like a Supreme Verdict. The Honor the Pure with Spectral Processions is going to put him on a 2-turn clock. I mean, Celestial Colonnade active is a bit rough. But if we draw into one of our 2 Path to Exiles, we can take care of that Celestial Colonnade. And we still have Return to the Ranks we can draw into. Tech Edge at this point is very weak. It does allow him to activate his Celestial Colonnade. Which he electrolyzes off just a Soul's Attendant, which isn't the greatest interaction. Again, that's why Honor the Pure is so good. We'll go ahead and throw down a Plains. He's going to Vendilion Click, which is going to take a Spectral Procession. And it's going to be able to kill a Ranger. So sort of a 2-for-1 here, but not the greatest 2-for-1, as we will get a draw card off the Spectral Procession. And we draw a Ranger, which is actually more powerful than the Spectral Procession. So the gamble there does not pay off. I'm going to go ahead and attack him with both. Which he's going to throw in front of the Ranger and take 2, go to a 7. And we're going to go ahead and throw out a Ranger to get our last Sarah's Ascendant. And at this point, we'll just get a Soul Attendant because there's only one left. And we won't overextend. We'll just throw out the 1. So in great shape. He's got to have an answer right here. I mean, Cryptic Command's actually pretty decent at this point, as he can tap down. So I'm not going to overextend. We're just going to keep attacking in with everything. I guarantee a Cryptic's coming here. No Cryptic. Attack him with everything. See if he's got the other path. Or flashing in a... Yeah, he could flash in it, or he could Snapcaster in something, but then Electrolyze doesn't really kill much. And looks like he's going to activate Colonnade and maybe path off the other Sarah Ascendant. Because he's still dead here, unless he's got a Lightning Bolt for the Ranger. And then he loses his Colonnade. So, okay, alright, so, man, this deck just has answers. But I'm up to a 41. He loses one of his win conditions. And again, next turn, I'm not even going to run into any sort of Supreme Verdict. I'll put one more threat out, as then he'll have to block both. He needs to run into a string of Cryptic Commands here. And he does not. So, yeah, pretty tough matchup with UWR now with Dig. I don't think Core Firewalker needs to come in. Celestial Flare is actually pretty decent, as he only has, maybe he's running a Johnny's though is the problem. I do have to worry about a Johnny. I don't know if I bring in Sundering Growth if he's going to bring in Vidalcan Shackles. Suppression Field is okay. He'll probably bring in Engineered Explosives or the Chalice of the Void. So, in fact, I don't think that I make any changes here. I think that we're fine as is. And I want to keep like 2 paths. That's the right number for Celestial Colonnades. If I can get rid of 2 Celestial Colonnades, then it's going to be very hard for him to beat me down with his remaining 2, or even find the remaining 2. Now, I used to love Squadron Hawk in this matchup. Squadron Hawk was really the key card for beating UWR, and we're not using Squadron Hawk. Another good card against UWR is Dried Militant, as if you put that out first turn, a lot of times you get some value with making them answer with a bolt, and then that bolt gets exiled. And the more cards you actually exile from their graveyard, the better, because then they can't go crazy with Dig Through Times and Treasure Cruises and Snapcaster Mages, etc., etc. So, I mean, it might be some justification to put some Rest in Pieces in the sideboard, but a Return of the Rank is probably the most powerful card against this deck, as if they tap out late game, you can really punish them. This is a weak hand, but, I mean, it's good if I draw into it in Johnny's Pride. I'm going to keep it. 3 lands is nice. It will allow us to cast everything, and we do have action. And I might just bait out a Martyr here and make him like Lightning Bolt at first turn. Yep, here comes like a Lightning Helix or a Lightning Bolt, and then that means he's tapped out, and then he can't use a Spell Snare, and then I can drop this Auric Champion, which will be pretty good against him. So here comes the Lightning Helix. I pretty much guarantee it's a Lightning Helix. Yep. And again, the Martyr was absolutely pointless in our hands. So now we can go ahead and throw out the Arc Champion. But we really need those Ajani's Pride Mates, those Rangers, those Spectral Possessions, those Honor the Pures. The way I've got Soul Sisters built now is definitely not as good against UWR. The Return to Ranks will be fine. He could Snapcaster in. I'm okay with him Snapcastering in something to kill an Arc Champion. I'm going to go ahead and throw another one out. And we'll go ahead and Soul Attendant as well. So that Ajani is looking very powerful. He's going to Helix that off. That's fine. 2 Helixes out of the way. And it's stuff we can always return to the ranks to gain a lot of life back. It's going to be a long, grindy match, but I don't like to see the Tectonic Edge because it takes care of my Windbrisk Heights. Speak of the devil. So, we'll actually put a Plains or a Windbrisk Heights under it. That's the worst Windbrisk Heights in the history of Windbrisk Heights. Going to go ahead and attack them both. And he's just going to Snapcaster? Oh, geez, a Restoration Angel. I did not see that coming, but at least it stops Arresto from actually... using Arresto against like a Snapcaster. But that's going to do 3 damage per turn. Yeah, we need to hit in those Pride Mates. I'm hoping he just Tech Edges my Windbrisk Heights here. Get a Lightning Helix off a Soul Warden. That guy can draw the Lightning Helixes. And there he goes. Awesome. So, I get a useless card out of the way. And gets another Colonnade, which is going to be very bad for me. He's going to decide to attack in. I'm okay with that. As we can drop another Soul Warden, and I could get everything back, but I don't even know. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3 actually. So can't quite get everything back. We'll attack him with the Arc Champion. Get him down to a 23. Those Colonnades are going to be active though. Another Tech Edge. And he's deciding he's just going to trade damage with me here. I don't know if that's actually the right choice. He's running out of ways to gain life. Hope he actually like digs here and gets rid of all the Lightning Helixes. There's a Ranger. I'm going to go ahead and attack first. I do have to worry about like Cryptics. But if he does not have a Cryptic in his hand, we should be in great position. I could still hit with this. So I get to search the top 4 cards. And we miss. So the Aiden Mind Sensor actually does work. Surprised he actually put that in. It does. It worked though. It got the job done. And again though, none of these. This didn't flash a Snapcaster Mage, so I'm actually okay with that. And his Mind Sensor, he's just going to continue to trade damage with me, which is very interesting. He wants to do that. I wonder if he's got a mana for the Colonnade now. He does not. So 2 cards in hand. Flash something else in still. We hit a plains. Not hitting the right cards for sure. We'll continue to attack in ourselves. See if he's got another flash card. Another Restoration Angel or something. Or a Snapcaster Lightning Helix. He's going to dig through time. But there goes his... all of his flashback. He's only got one other Lightning Helix he can actually hit here. Now I might actually, if I end up losing this game, I might actually bring in the Celestial Flares and the Path to Exiles. If his only win con is going to be Celestial Colonnades and Restoration Angels, it's pretty easy to take those out. And then we can take out cards like Martyr. Well, Martyr's okay. Take out some of the redundant Soul Wardens. So I wonder if he actually grabbed a land there, because he needs to be able to activate those Colonnades. And there is 3 Lightning Helixes that will not be flashed back, and I'm really okay with that, especially knowing he's got Restoration Angels. There goes a Path to Exile on Arc Champion. And we do hit with the Aven Mind Sensor. Down to a 17. And I might just return to the ranks right now for 3. And get back 1, 2, 3. Get back. Yeah, I think we will return to the ranks right now. I don't know if it's the right time to do this, but... oh, geez. And wow, it decided not to click on the things that I wanted it to. Oh, good old MTGO. So I clicked on 3, and then I didn't notice the mana cost. That was ridiculous. All right, well, we get 1 back with Return to the Ranks. So, I mean, we'd have gained a lot more life that way and had another Arc Champion out. So, huge play mistake. Again, you guys saw me click on those, but this game has got to be the crappiest software known to man. He's going to attack in. He's going to continue to attack in. That must mean he's got the mana for the Colonnade now. Does not. So I can't draw a finisher to save my life. And see what he has going on. I probably should have played a card first. Or Martyr first to actually gain some life. If he kills a Soul Warden here. He's a Snapcaster Mage Path. Or did he dig? No, what did he... he's going to path one here. Well, we're going to have Martyr. And he'll path off a Soul Warden. And yeah, I think that's actually going to cost me the game, that misclick on the Return of the Ring. So we just would have gained so much life. We still hit with the Aven Mind Sensor. And now he's down to 2 cards. I need to hit like Spectral Processions. I need to hit an Honor the Pure. Looks like a Johnny's coming out here. No, he's just going to activate his Colonnade and attack in. So he's going to race down to 10. There's another Soul Warden, which will gain me a life. And we'll attack in again. Get him down to 13. Everything flies in his deck, though. That's the biggest issue. I'm going to go down in the Martyr counts as well. Martyr, I think Martyr and Soul Wardens I'm going to take out and put in some Celestial Flares. Ha! There's a Johnny's Pride Mate, so that's a great card. As it's going to be a 4/4. Could have got that guy earlier. He's a card that's hard for UWR to deal with. And unfortunately, we just have to sit back here. No, we just die if we sit back. Yeah, that was stupid of me because this is a flyer. So, well, it wouldn't have mattered either way. He just activates the Colonnade. And yeah, that really cost me. That would have been some more pressure. The Pride Mate would have been bigger. He would have had I would have had a turn to live, and then maybe he couldn't attack in because I could have top decked into something. We'll see exactly what would have happened here if that misclick on the Return of the Ring. Spectral Processions would have gave me blockers. Yeah, that really cost me. So my hatred for MTGO continues, and that might have been my fault for clicking, but I swear I clicked on the 3 and then just started going to autopilot by tapping mana. But anyway, I'm going to bring in the Path to Exiles. I'm going to bring in the Celestial Flares. And I'm going to take out a Martyr, a Soul Tenant, a Soul Warden, and possibly even an Auric Champion. As, yeah, we just don't want too much of a clutter here, and we'll submit this. So yes, I'd like to play first. There's Path past Celestial Flare. I'm going to keep it and not like keeping it, but I'm going to keep it just because we know that Celestial Colonnade is the win con, and I don't know if he's got like a Johnny's or whatnot. He is more of a mid-range. He could even have Geist in here, and Celestial Flare is very, very powerful against Geist. I'm just going to Wimper's Heights first turn. And we need to draw into a threat. See what we find with this, what we would have drawn into. Spectral Possession is going to go there, and we get rid of those lands, which is good. See if a Colonnade comes out. That's annoying. And there's a Soul Warden. Yeah, let's cast a Soul Warden. See if he's got a Helix for it. He does not. No red source yet. So we'll cast a Martyr. And we will sack it. We'll go ahead and Saracen. If he's got a mana leak, that's going to be rough. He does not. So this is going to be a great start for us. As we have a 6/6 that he's going to have to path. And if he doesn't have the path, then he doesn't have the path. Tech Edge is a little bit good at this point. I really don't know anything in his deck that can actually take care of the Serra Ascendant. But we'll attack in. Just got to be a path, is it? And this is going to put me really far ahead. Him down to a 12. Him still not drawing his red mana source. And the Martyr comes out here, which will allow me to get the Spectral Procession off. And up to 41 with Celestial Flares, with Paths. See if you've been Vendilion clicks and a turn here. An Aven Mind Sensor. Again, I don't care about an Aven Mind Sensor, so it's a weak card at this point. Haven't seen any Cryptics. I wonder if he's not even running Cryptics. And there's good old Geist, which is about as weak as humanly possible at this point. And is he really doing... He's really attacking in. Does he understand I have a flyer here? That was an amazing, amazing attacking, because now Celestial Flare will take care of his Geist. So another Windbrisk Heights. Do I care about a Spectral Processions coming in? Or just get rid of the Geist once and for all? We'll attack with everything. So there goes the Geist. And he's taken 7. Really, that's the only way I could see him coming back in this. And another Spectral Procession. So if he tech heads one of them, it doesn't even really matter. He's got to draw a Path to Exile here. To deal with the Serra Ascendant, or this is going to be game. And he does scoop. He misses that red. That's the problem with running 3 colors and not getting a fetch land there. So, again, I don't know if that's the right play to bring in Geist and Aven Mind Sensors. This is actually a lot easier of a matchup than I assumed at first, because I really thought he was going to be the hardcore UWR control, only using Snapcasters and Celestial Colonnades. But with the Geist and Restoration Angel version is a lot easier for Soul Sisters to beat up on, as Restoration Angel and Geist definitely don't do as much work as just even more removal like Supreme Verdicts. I can't even recover from Supreme Verdicts half the time. So the main reason we won that game was he got hung up on stuff. But even if he had a great hand, even if maybe he had some red sources to cast stuff, I think that he'd have to be way more proactive. And we'd be drawing into, Johnny's Pridemate, Return of the Ranks to get back a Serra's Ascendant if he was able to kill it without a Path to Exile. And eventually, we would draw into more and Rangers and stuff like that. So, pretty easy matchup. This has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.